that down. Let's get on to this. Breaking news. This literally, I think, dropped after we started the show today. You guys will remember that the other day we talked about how Tom Holland, first time ever, kind of made it official that they were ready to go on Spider-Man 4, that they had it, they were ready to go, and they were going to start shooting it next summer. Now, we discussed that on the show, and one of the things we started speculating is, does this mean it will come out before Doomsday or after Doomsday? My guess was before. I think one of you guys thought after.
I think Chris and I were like,
we thought it would be
it would be just financially, it would be like, that would really boom it between the two.
Yeah.
Right.
But story-wise, it could have been anything.
Yeah.
Well, now we have the answer. Because according to Variety, they now have a release date. Tom Holland, Spider-Man 4 sets July 2026 release 2 months after Avengers Doomsday. The article goes on to say this. Tom Holland Spider-Man will swing back into theaters on July 24th, 2026. The United Columbia Pictures project from director Destin Daniel Cretton, of course, who is the director who did the magnificent Shang-Chi, will debut just 2 months after Avengers Doomsday. During an appearance on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon on Tuesday night, Holland confirmed that his fourth Spider-Man movie will begin production in mid-2025. So we knew that it was going to go into production. So we all kind of guessed it would come out in 2026. And now we know when. July 2026, which means this movie's little over a year and a half away from being out there. And it does indeed come after Avengers Doomsday. Okay, so number one, this kind of lines up where we kind of figured roughly it would come, like going into production. Maybe it was going to be a little bit before Doomsday, maybe a little bit after. Turns out it's going to be after. So there's that. So it's right around where we thought it could be. The coming out after Doomsday, though, see, that raises some interesting questions. Will it have its story now dictated by the events of Avengers Doomsday? Like, is this going to be Spider-Man in the world that is in the aftermath of the events of Doomsday? Or do they pull a Ant-Man and the Wasp, where that movie came out after Avengers Infinity War, but actually took place before Avengers Infinity War? Remember that?
Yeah, they called that like an appendix or something to the phase, I think they said.
Yeah, because
at the time.
The movie ends, Ant-Man and the Wasp ends with the events of Infinity War, with a couple of them getting dusted, right? So which one is Spider-Man 4 going to be? In the aftermath of Doomsday? Or does it take place before the events of Doomsday? If it takes place before the events of Doomsday, why not put it out before Doomsday? Like, that's my question. I mean, clearly you've got it coming out just 2 months afterwards. You could easily have that come out before. So my guess is that this movie is going to be in the aftermath of Doomsday. But now, look, we don't know what state the Marvel world is going to be in after Doomsday. Is it going to be like Infinity War, where all the world has completely changed? Or will it be like the end of Age of Ultron, where it's like, okay, phew, catastrophe averted, life goes on as normal? So I'm interested. Chris, we now got a date.
Yeah.
It comes out 2 months after Doomsday. What do you think about the date? And do you think this movie is going to take place after Doomsday, or will they pull an Ant-Man and Wasp and have it take place before Doomsday and then catch up at the end? How do you see it?
I feel like it's the latter. I feel like it is going to have that Ant-Man and Wasp feel to it. And then it's going to be something like Peter sees Victor Von Doom and is very upset that he's got his, Papa's face. And they'll play around with that.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm thinking this is going. But I think going back to what we had talked about earlier in the week, I think it makes sense, though, to pop that one in the middle, just because this is your kind of guaranteed good character who has box office draw. So I feel like this is more of a strategic thing than a narrative thing. I feel like that's really where Disney kind of has their minds. Again, totally possible. They've done it before with Ant-Man and the Wasp. I just wonder if the movie takes place before, because this is the only question I have. If the movie does take place before Doomsday, why not just put the movie out before Doomsday?
Right.
Like, that's my question, right?
Maybe a release schedule issue. I mean, we'll really know the answer to that when we see if Tom Holland is in Doomsday
Yeah.
in Avengers.
Yeah, I think
If
he
he's in
probably
that,
does.
if he's in that, which I assume he is,
I would think
then he
so.
would already be aware of the events of Doomsday. And so this is something that carries on after Doomsday.
But how does he get there though, too? Because no one knows him. I
But
mean,
he's got a
Spider-Man.
he's given a sigil. Yeah,
You know,
he's
somebody
gonna give you
in-
a sigil.
Somebody in the live chat brings up a very, very, very good point that I've been overlooking. As a Spider-Man movie, Marvel doesn't get to pick when the movie comes out.
Oh, that's true. That's Sony.
Sony decides when the movie comes out.
Oh. Well done, chat. Thank you for that.
And that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's something we bring up all the time, and I totally overlooked it on at this case. But that's true. It's Sony is the one. They are the distributor. They get to choose and they get to pick when the movie comes out. Now, I'm sure it was done in consultation with Kevin Feige and Marvel. I mean, they are partners on
Yeah, they're
this.
not just going to be like,
But I wonder if they go, yeah, nah, Marvel, it just works better for us if we put it out after Doomsday. Maybe they think it'll, like you were saying, Jonathan, maybe they think after Doomsday, having the movie come out just 2 months after Doomsday will really make the box office on it pop.
yeah.
Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's episode, Miracle Made. Guys, it's hot outside and your nighttime bedroom temperature has a huge impact on your sleep quality. So if you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. Miracle Made sheets are inspired by NASA and use silver-infused fabrics that are temperature regulating so you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. There are just so many things that make these sheets so fantastic. We already mentioned the self-cooling properties for better quality sleep, but they're also self-cleaning. These sheets are infused with silver that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. No more gross odors. So go to trymiracle.com/Campea. That's TRYMIRACLE.com/Campea to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo code Campea at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. So upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/Campea and use the code Campea to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/Campea to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? We now have an official release date for Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4. We suspected it would be around the summer season, mid of the year 2026, but now we have a date and it's coming out after Doomsday. Do you think the movie itself takes place after Doomsday? Do you think it takes place before? How big of an influence do you think it was that Sony is the one who's choosing the release date? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.